Welcome, welcome. I'm your host, Brian Halley, and you're listening to the Brandstanding podcast. I'm excited to help you unlock the magic of brand strategy to supercharge your business in a way that's practical, easy, and fun. So let's dive in. Welcome to the Brandstanding podcast. My name is Brian Halley, and I'm here with my wife and co-host, the beautiful and amazing Emily Halley.
Hi, babe.
Hello. Thank you, listeners, for joining us today. We have been going over the 3 phases of branding in previous podcasts, and that's the message phase, the identity phase, and the expression phase. And in the messaging phase, we went over 4 pillars. We had a podcast for each one, and that was the purpose, position, promise, and personality. And we are in the middle of a series taking a deep dive into brand archetypes and how they can help you supercharge your brand personality and connect with potential customers, because that's inevitably what we want. Today, we're going to be walking you guys through the next chunk of character archetypes, and that is the lover, the jester, and the everyman. But before we do that, let's just do a quick review on what an archetype is.
Yeah, so an archetype is a universally recognized pattern, symbol, or character type that reflects something fundamental about human experience or emotion or behaviors. And these were first identified by psychologist Carl Jung, who was the first one to notice that there were certain characters that kept popping up in stories from all over the world, even though all of those societies were separated by space and time from each other. They still kept creating these same characters. So he theorized that there was some kind of collective subconscious or collective experiences within humanity that resonated with these different characters, and they share cultural and emotional truths. And no matter where you are in the world, you're going to understand these stories.
Yes, and because everyone instantly recognizes these character types, this makes them super shortcuts to use in branding and marketing because they're already there.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you're wise enough to use them, man, you can boost your business so well and just your understanding of what you're trying to communicate.
Right. So this is the strategy that we use in our branding agency, because it's a really easy way for developing businesses to grab onto one of these existing character types, these existing stories, and then because everybody understands them already, you can very quickly communicate to your audience who you are, and this saves you time and it saves you money in the marketing process, and it's going to get your customers quicker, which is what every business owner wants.
Absolutely.
So there are 12 archetypes, brand archetypes, that we're going to be talking about. And they are the innocent, the explorer, the sage, the hero, the outlaw, the magician, the jester, the lover, the everyman, the caregiver, the ruler, and the creator.
And these archetypes exist everywhere we look. And I enjoy looking at them in the movies and in a movie in general. So today, let's talk about a movie example of Lord of the Rings. Emily, why
Yes.
don't you tell about the
Today's
characters there?
today's episode is brought to you by Lord of the
Lord of the
Rings.
Rings.
So in Lord of the Rings, there are several of these character archetypes that show up. Aragorn is the hero. Gandalf, the sage, also a magician. Gollum is most definitely the outlaw. Merry and Pippin are the jester character. Samwise the brave is the caregiver. Arwen is the lover, and Frodo is the everyman.
Wonderful. I just enjoy going to movies and finding them in there. It's because they know they only have a window of like 2 hours to win us, and they jump on these archetype characters too.
Yeah, because we love them. They're like they resonate with these implicit human drives that we have within us, right? Like we love these characters, these
Yeah,
stories.
we do. And right now, we're in the middle of a series of 4 episodes exploring the 12 archetypes in sets of 3. So there's 12, we've broken them into 3. In the last episode, we covered the hero, the outlaw, and the magician archetypes. Today, we're going to look at the lover, everyman, and jester. So remember, if you are interested in choosing an archetype for your brand, what you're looking for is an archetypal story that aligns with your brand mission and goals, one that is authentic to you, your company culture, and your customers' goals and values. So I think it's very important to learn about all of them, and you'll probably be able to narrow this down to like 2 possibilities pretty easily. That's what we kind of find is like 2 of them will rise to the top as you listen to these different archetypes, and then you'll need to think deeply about each one and choose the one that aligns best. We are basing our series on the work of Margaret Mark and Carol S. Pearson's book, The Hero and the Outlaw. Incredible information. If you ever want a deep dive into this, it is a great resource.
Yes, highly recommend. Okay, so the reason that we grouped the lover, the everyman, and the jester together is because even though obviously these are very different characters, they all have the same basic goal, and that is that they want to connect with others. But they go about connecting with others in different ways and for different reasons. So, Brian, do you want to go over the goals of these different archetype stories?
Absolutely. So let's look at the lover. The lover's goal is to experience a deep connection, passion, and intimacy, fostering relationships that bring joy, beauty, and fulfillment. The everyman, their goal is to belong, to connect with others, and lead a simple, authentic life, just rooted in shared experiences with humanity and community. And the jester's goal is to bring joy, laughter, and a sense of freedom by challenging conventions and reminding others just not to take life too seriously. So, yeah, there you go. So let's talk about those, starting with the
The
lover.
lover. All right, let's start with the lover. So, other names for the lover are the partner, the companion, the beauty, spouse, enthusiast, team builder, harmonizer, connector, and sensualist. The lover archetype is all about building deep, meaningful connections, whether with others or with oneself. So, can kind of be an idea that is intrapersonal. It's driven by the desire for intimacy and for emotional bonds. Lovers seek fulfillment through relationships and experiences that bring joy and passion. They often focus on being attractive, both physically and emotionally, to ensure that they can maintain these connections. So they want to be someone that others want to be around. Brands in beauty, cosmetics, and personal care often align with the lover archetype because that's exactly what they're selling, a way for them to maintain their, physical attractiveness. Also, the lover story is about savoring life's pleasures and cherishing the bonds that make us all feel loved. At its heart, the lover is celebrating love, connection, and a life full of beauty and meaning. So, my love, when have you felt the lover story in your life? Maybe this is a story that we shouldn't share on a podcast.
Yeah, well, we'll keep this G rated. But recently, when we traveled to Paris, that's what popped in my mind about that. It truly is the city of love. There were many sights to see and amazing art and locations, but the feeling of being there with someone you loved, the memories, the photos, the meals, the trips to the morning bakery to get your croissants, or the walks down the Seine River.
Are you still talking about me or your love affair with the bread?
I did love the bakery.
Yeah, you
It
loved the
was so
bakeries.
great. Yeah, but all those things that we experienced contributed to the emotional bond made with my significant other, and that's how I experienced that recently.
Awesome.
What about you, Ems?
So I think perhaps the most obvious lover story is about falling in love, right?
Mhm.
And I think most of us have experienced that to some extent. And it's a good one. It's a good one. More recently, though, in my life, I feel like I've been experiencing the lover on a deeper level because now we've been married for 25 years.
Mhm.
And that kind of, that first in love phase has worn off. And we've gone through some hard stuff throughout our marriage.
Yes, we have.
And so I've been learning a lot about how to keep working on building a meaningful long term relationship, how to keep showing up for my person, understanding you, and trying my best to love you through all of the different things that we go through. So that has been a really meaningful experience
That is
that I
great.
that I hope everyone gets to experience in their lives.
Yeah. There's a call in every one of these archetypes, to your audience. And when they're feeling certain ways, that's when this archetype rises to the top. So the call to the lover archetype is an invitation to experience a deeper connection, an intimacy, and emotional fulfillment. It often rises when the lover feels a longing for closeness. Maybe they're not receiving that, whether in relationships or self love or desire to connect more fully with the world around them. This call may come as a desire to find a soulmate or build stronger relationships or embrace personal passions that bring joy and satisfaction. It's a pull toward embracing beauty, vulnerability, and the joy of being truly seen and loved. And so there are three ways that a lover brand can engage with its storytelling depending on the product or services that it's marketing. So let's talk about
Yeah.
level one.
Yeah. So level 1 of the lover archetype is the obvious one. It's seeking great sex or a great romance. And brands that are on this level focus on physical attraction, on romance, on creating experiences that enhance the thrill of love and intimacy. So, products and services that might be good for this archetype would be intimate products, high-end lingerie like Victoria's Secret, dating apps like Tinder or Bumble that help people find romantic connections, luxury perfumes like Chanel, evoke this sensuality and allure. Remember how the lover wants to experience things like with their body, with their senses. So anything that tastes amazing, smells amazing, looks amazing, all of those things are sensual type products.
Great, great. And then the level two, at this level, the focus shifts to a deeper, more meaningful connection, whether it's a relationship or a passion for a cause or commitment to personal joy and fulfillment. And
So like following your bliss, like finding something that you love to do.
yes, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Finding something you like to do. Products and services that are in this world are like wellness brands, companies promoting self care, personal indulgence, experiential services like travel brands like Airbnb that allow for unique love infused adventures or romantic getaways, artisan goods like those from Etsy or Tiffany and Company, focusing on that personal connection of quality. So that's level two.
Okay, level 3 is about spiritual love, self-acceptance, and even the experience of ecstasy. So at this level, the lover archetype explores a profound transcendental love. It's often centered on self acceptance and a connection to a higher sense of being. And products and services that might fit into this category include spiritual and mindfulness services, meditation apps like Headspace or Calm that promote inner peace and connection to the self, holistic wellness that offer spiritual guidance, self empowerment, and mind body healing, and then luxury retreat experiences high-end wellness retreats like those that focus on self-actualization and holistic love.
Great. And you can communicate the lover story by selecting certain design elements. So, colors you would use that resonate with this archetype are reds and pinks, warm hues. Those colors are the cornerstone, really, of the lover archetype. They invoke a feeling of passion, love, and desire. You could also use warm tones like soft peach, golden yellows, even deep burgundy, which adds a sense of elegance
Mhm.
that can also evoke warmth, affection, and sense of intimacy. And so those colors create an atmosphere of romance and emotional connection. Subtle contrasts, mixing soft pastels with deeper, more intense shades can amplify the sensual and dynamic nature of the design.
Okay, and then the images that a lover brand would use would include things that are sensual and tactile. So, using imagery that speaks to the senses, like soft, intimate textures, would include silks, velvets, lace. Um, Images should feel inviting and warm. They draw the viewer in with the richness of the colors. Also, you could feature passionate encounters. So, these could include couples embracing, looking into each other's eyes, sharing intimate moments. But this is always in a tasteful, romantic way. So, the goal is to capture the feeling of the emotional closeness and the intense connection. The goal isn't to shock
Yeah,
like it is in the outlaw story.
exactly. You could cross that line too much if you go too far.
Right.
That's what outlaws are trying to do, and it's not in the
Right.
connection
Right.
at that point.
Also close-up shots where you could focus on subtle details, the touch of a hand, the curve of a body, the smile between two people. These images create an emotional draw, giving it a sense of closeness without being overly explicit.
Yeah. So, in the design layouts, you want it to be smooth and have more flowing lines. It should feel more graceful and fluid with soft curves, organic shapes. Um, a flowing, almost undulating structure in the design helps evoke that feeling of warmth and comfort, and the effortless connection that the lover archetype embodies. Gentle transitions as well, like design should transition smoothly from one section to another, avoiding harsh edges, jarring elements. This creates a sense of harmony and balance, aligning with the lover's quest for emotional and physical cohesion. Using balance and symmetry creates a sense of unity and connection.
Awesome. Okay, so the text and the messaging that you would use around the lover story.
The words.
The words. What do I sound like? You would wanna use a tone that is turned on, that is excited, that is like, um,
Has some
just
energy.
all
Has some
in,
energy.
right? Just
Yeah.
experiencing life. You'd wanna use language that evokes desire, affection, longing. You capture the passion of the lover archetype. Words should be sensuous, inviting, kind of create this world of possibility for the lover customer. Um, you want your customer to feel like they want what he or she has. So, whoever you're featuring in your marketing, your customer wants to want what they have. Does that make sense? So, you could invoke envy or the idea that the audience can experience the same pleasure or fulfillment as the people that you're showing. This plays on the idea that the product or service offers access to something desirable.
Because they're looking for that because they're not receiving it. They want more of it in their
Mhm.
life.
Yeah.
And so show that this is a place they can receive it.
Yeah. Your language should be affectionate, it should be warm, emotionally charged, expresses how the product, service, or experience will stir these deep feelings of love and affection. Use words like that. So phrases like fall in love with yourself, embrace the moment, or indulge your senses. All of these types of things encourage or invite people into this engagement and emotional connection.
Excellent. Use rich adjectives, descriptive language to evoke strong emotions and paint vivid pictures of romance, beauty, and passion. Words like sensuous or luxurious, tender or irresistible help create an emotionally immersive experience for the audience because they want to touch it and feel it. You can engage with them in a playful way. The voice can also have flirtatious qualities, especially when trying to draw the audience into like an experience of desire. It's confident yet tender and encourages the indulgence in pleasure. That's the voice of the lover.
Awesome. So to kind of summarize all of that, your marketing to a lover customer should create a genuine connection. You want to make them feel valued, beautiful, and cared for. When you treat them well and promise a high quality sensual experience, they'll build a relationship with your brand. Your customers have an appreciation for the finer things of life. They dress not for status, like the ruler that we'll talk about next week, but to express themselves. They freely share their thoughts and feelings. They surround themselves with beauty and the things that bring them joy. With excellent communication skills and a refined sense of social grace, they embody good taste and are passionate about values, vision, and products that exceed their expectations. Your brand should inspire an appreciation for beauty as it truly matters to your customers.
Wonderful. Let's see this in action. Let's watch a commercial. This is by Haagen Dazs, and I think they have owned the Lover brand. They know they're a Lover brand. They understand the archetypes, and these commercials are a little
Yeah, we had to go through a couple before we're like, these other ones are a little spicy to share on a braided G show.
yeah, yeah. And now that you're aware, watch, you'll notice it too. But here, let's show this commercial.
True comfort can't be faked. Neither can our strawberries. Fall in love with new Haagen-Dazs New York Strawberry Cheesecake. That's Dazs.
All right, a very quick video,
Mhm.
but the visuals, like it starts with a couple next to each other on a couch and they're eating the ice cream, but the way it's shown is very sensual and suggestive. It's it's got the flowing drips and the indulgence factor. This is
Well,
a
and they even say "fall in love"
yeah,
in the text, and they use very kind of sultry music too
yeah,
in the background.
yeah, and the voice was sensual and very
Yes.
slow. It's like when if you're on a date, this is the product to eat.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yep.
This is it.
And you can't fake strawberries.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a great lover brand Haagen Dazs. What are some other ones that we see out there, Emily?
Some other ones are Revlon, Victoria's Secret, like we mentioned already, Godiva, Hallmark, Chanel, Gucci, Calvin Klein, Estee Lauder, and Lindt.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
all those. Those are good
So
examples.
the lover could be a good identity for a brand that has a product or service that helps people find love or friendship. If it fosters beauty, communication, or closeness between people, or is associated in some way with sexuality or romance. If it has a price that is moderate to high, if it is produced or sold by a company with an intimate, elegant organizational culture, as opposed to a massive ruler hierarchy. Also, if it needs to differentiate itself in a positive way from brands that are lower in price. So, if you check some of those boxes, then this might be an archetype to take a second look at.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So I've noticed that as we presented the lover brand, we've been talking a little more sultry and slower and
We were.
Now we're going to switch gears and we're going to go into the Jester.
Okay. Da, 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 da.
I think I live in this place. The Jester, the entertainer, comedian, performer, trickster, comic relief, clown. That's kind of how you would describe the Jester. The Jester is all about fun, playfulness, being spontaneous, encouraging everyone around them to just live life on the lighter side. And they love breaking the rules, living in the moment with little patience for those who take things too serious. They want to just chill, just calm down. So they bring joy and freedom. They show us that it's okay to laugh, to be imperfect, and just enjoy life's absurdities. It's okay to do fun and silly things.
And there are a lot of absurdities out there.
Yeah. Products that fit the Jester archetype are fun, they're indulgent, and a bit naughty. Think candy or junk food or some guilty pleasures. They fall into that Jester category there. They tap into our carefree side, reminding us to enjoy life's lighter, more entertaining moments. And so I love this world. But Emily, when have you felt the Jester in your life?
Besides every day when I come home to my husband wrestling the dog,
Making them talk.
making him talk, chasing him all over the house. Um, so I think that the Jester story has been a way for me to get back in balance with myself. When I feel myself getting to the point where I'm taking myself too seriously or too stressed out at work, I feel like the best way to get back into balance is to laugh. And we enjoy like watching funny shows, watching comedians, being silly and laughing with our friends or with our kids. And just nothing feels better than that. And I found that joking around and being less serious is a really great way for me to create good relationships with my students. They think it's hilarious when a teacher isn't serious.
Yeah, that is a great example.
How about you?
All right. I love breaking the rules, having fun, being spontaneous. That's great. Um, I think I most often am the one in a meeting that when it feels like we're taking it too serious, there's too much data, whatever, and they're taking themselves too serious. I kind of throw in a good pun or joke just to break it up. You got to remind them that this is not a peace treaty. It's just work, okay?
Yeah. Um, so the call to the Jester archetype is an invitation to let go of seriousness and embrace the present moment, find joy in the absurdity of life and all the silly things humans do. It often comes as a reminder to laugh, to break free from the rules, and experience life with a sense of spontaneity and playfulness. This call encourages stepping out of the ordinary and shedding your inhibitions and embracing the freedom that comes with not taking life too seriously. It's about celebrating fun, creativity, and just the simple joy of being alive.
Wonderful. That's great. The Jester has 3 levels of storytelling. The first one is treating life as a game, like just having fun. At this level, the Jester embraces life as a playful, carefree adventure focused on fun and humor, lightheartedness. The goal is to experience joy, amusement without taking anything too serious. And so, products and services that would align with this would be things like party supplies, playful products like themed party decorations or novelty items, humorous gifts, video games, interactive games that are like centered around humor and spontaneous play, like Mario Kart or Wii Sport. Mario Party's a good one. Toy brands like Lego or Hasbro that encourage that creativity and play.
Perfect. Okay. So the next level, level 2 of the Jester, is the Jester using cleverness to trick others or to get out of trouble and find ways around obstacles. This is kind of the the Loki character. I guess we haven't done the Marvel movies yet.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
we'll do that next week. So at this level, the jester uses wit and cleverness to navigate tricky situations and overcome challenges, often with a playful or a mischievous attitude. It's about using humor and strategy to win or transform obstacles into opportunities.
Mm,
And products and services that could fit well into this storytelling are escape rooms, board games
okay.
like Monopoly or code names that involve strategies or clever moves or like outsmarting your opponents, comedy shows or improv performances that require quick wit, the ability to navigate through situations with humor.
Great. That is good. And in level 3, the jester shows itself by experiences in the moment, just taking it one day at a time. So at that level, the jester is all about living like in the present, embracing spontaneity, finding joy in the simple moments. It's about breaking free from the worries and savoring each day as it comes. Really just living in that present moment. Products and services that you would see in this area are spontaneous travel experiences like kayak or lastminute.com, kind of cater to spontaneous trips and adventures, allowing customers to embrace the freedom of living in that moment. Music festivals or live events. You'd also see it in relaxation and wellness services, offering mindfulness and meditation just to help people tune into the present and enjoy each moment.
Great. Okay, so let's dive into the design elements that go into the Jester. So let's talk about like how would you market to a Jester customer? What would your designs look like? We're going to start with the colors. So good colors for the Jester include candy colors or tropical hues, because these are vibrant and they're playful and they scream energy and
They
fun.
don't take themselves too serious.
Right. So bright pinks, electric blues, lime greens, sunny yellows, tropical oranges. Um, Also, contrasting colors. So pairing these bright colors with contrasting shades are just going to add a more dynamic, eye-catching feel. For example, you could put a shocking pink with a deep purple or a sunny yellow with a turquoise that creates kind of a visual tension that keeps people engaged. Neon accents, because who doesn't love a little neon?
Bring back the 80s.
It kind of captures like the irreverence or the unpredictability of the jester,
Yeah,
the break the rules visually.
I love it. And so those are the colors. So when choosing images for a gesture brand, look for photos that are a little more unexpected or irreverent or silly. The imagery should reflect the jester's mischievous spirit. Think quirky visuals that don't take themselves too seriously. You might use playful exaggerations, comical faces, or people in outlandish outfits, animals in human situations, oversized objects, or strange juxtapositions, like you take a banana and turn it into a phone. The goal is to create a visual that makes the viewer pause and smile, like, that's clever.
Like that,
That's,
remember that
that's
where you cut out of a magazine of a cow on a treadmill? We kept like taping it to where each other would find it just because it was funny.
it was hilarious.
Awesome. Okay, so for design layouts, you could use juxtaposition. You could use some disorganization, some busyness. The layout should kind of feel like a playful mess, intentionally unstructured, to break free from the conventional design norms. So in this way, it's a little bit like Outlaw, but in a fun way. Things might overlap, they might be off center or be placed in unconventional spots. It creates kind of a sense of chaos. Um, Asymmetry. So whereas the lover would have balance and symmetry, the jester would use off kilter angles asymmetrical placements, which would reflect the unpredictability of the jester. These elements might be scattered or stacked in a seemingly haphazard way, which include lots of movement and energy, bold patterns, textured, layered visuals. All of this stuff helps convey this sense of busyness and fun that keeps the viewer's eyes moving and discovering new things.
So let's talk about text and messaging for the Jester. So that should be playful, giddy, and energetic. It's not just predictable. It's these guys have a sense of humor in the office, and they present that well to us. And
Yes.
the tone is a little more lighthearted, exuberant, and fun, and like it uses language that captures a carefree, joyful spirit. Like, let's have some fun, or why not smile today? This creates sense of excitement, encouraging people to laugh and embrace those moments. The text should feel contagious and positive, showing an appreciation for life's absurdities and making the audience feel energized and entertained. Phrases like, make today awesome, or life's too short. Let's enjoy it. The copy could show amusement or entertainment. Using humor, clever wordplay, or unexpected puns can add to the playful tone. You might use irreverent slogans and just be silly. These kinds of messages invite that audience to let go of any seriousness and just dive into that more carefree, humorous approach that they're looking for.
Awesome. And then your voice while you're crafting your messaging should be enthusiastic and expressive, energetic and full of life. You could choose to use self deprecating humor because the jester isn't afraid to laugh at themselves or make fun of their flaws. Um, you could tell jokes or use puns. This helps to lighten the mood, get attention. If you make people laugh, they're going to remember you.
Yeah, it's a great way to do that. So let's sum up kind of what we've talked about. Use humor in marketing to the jester. Use bright colors, a lot of action. The outrageous and zany all appeal to the jester. Ads that employ cleverness, new ways of seeing the world, creativity, the unexpected or unpredictable are great strategies. The jester loves laughter, jokes, pranks, and prefers looking a bit ridiculous rather than blending in.
Yes. All right. So the brand that we're going to highlight as our jester example is Skittles. So we're going to watch a Skittles commercial.
Have some, Grandma?
Can I have your youth?
Sure.
Commit to the Skittles. Keep eating. You live here now.
Best day ever. Commit to the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
So silly. Okay. So for those of you who are listening to the commercial, this features like a grandson visiting his grandma at like a nursing home. They're sitting across the table from each other and she's got a bowl of Skittles and he asks for a Skittle and she's like, "Sure, if I can have your youth." And every time he eats a Skittle, she gets younger and he gets older. And she's like, "You live here now."
What does he say?
And he's like, "Best day
Best
ever."
day ever.
It's so weird and so funny.
Totally classic Skittles. They are funny.
Classic Skittles.
Yeah. So other brands you would see in that world of Jester are M&M's, Pringles is in there, Pepsi, Kia, see Butterfinger, Ben and Jerry's is a fabulous one. Now that you know what Jester is, check out their ads and look what they do in their advertising for being a Jester. They do a great job. Doritos.
They even have a like actual graveyard, their company, for flavors that they got rid of.
They dig
like with little tombstones.
little tombstone.
Yeah, they're funny.
They own it. They own it even in the culture they have. Doritos does the same thing in their commercials. You see it in Geico. Yeah, those are
Although I'm glad that we finally got through the screaming goat phase on the Doritos commercials.
Yeah, it did pop back up in Thor.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, but it's
Those goats are kind of scary.
yeah. So a jester archetype would be a good identity for brands that help people belong or feel that they belong, whose function helps people have a good time, or pricing is moderate to low. They're a company with a fun-loving, freewheeling organizational structure, or that need to be different from a self-important, overconfident, established brand.
Awesome. Okay. Farewell, Jester. We're moving on to the Everyman.
Yeah, what's the how do we deliver this?
No. Boring.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Best friends, besties.
Besties. Okay, so the everyman is like the girl or guy next door, the realist, the friend, the solid citizen, the good neighbor, the silent majority. The everyman archetype celebrates the value of being just like everyone else. They want to focus on the everyday person. For them, it's about community, equality, and believing that life's good things are for everyone, not just the elite.
Mm, yeah.
Every man champions the underdog, values fairness. It uses humor to deflate arrogance that it sees in others. They are grounded and humble and find joy in simple pleasures. So think ice cream socials, barbecues, local charities, events that bring people together. This archetype works for brands that are authentic and straightforward and connected to the community, that offer products that are reliable and down to earth. So, babe, when have you felt the everyman story in your life?
Well, just that description has popped a lot of things in my head. A good old barbecue with the guys, or just going and sitting around a campfire, cooking a hot dog over the coals. There's just nothing spectacular. It's not too fancy. Uh, it's just relaxed. Time to focus on the friendships, the commonalities, rather than elaborate experiences, which is great. When you're there, we're not trying to impress anybody. We're just here chilling and connecting as
Yeah.
humans, and
Yeah,
I do like that.
I like that.
What about you?
So I feel the Everman story come up when I'm teaching history. And maybe it's because of the way that history belongs to all of us. It's kind of our shared story.
Mhm.
And I really value the discussions that we have that are about things like justice and equality and citizenship and how we can contribute to our communities, how we can make society more fair for everyone. Those types of ideas are really appealing to me.
Okay. That feels like we're gonna go into the levels right now, but that feels like it's probably on the 3rd level or something. Like, I'm hanging out cooking a hot dog on the fire, and you're thinking about saving the world,
Yes,
connecting the humans.
that is so real. We're discussing Play-Doh in my Socratic class, and you literally have your little canister.
I just wanna play with the Play-Doh. I
Yep.
didn't know he was a person.
Sorry.
Too much.
Sorry.
That's okay. Again, the call to the everyman archetype is an invitation to belong and connect and to be part of something larger than oneself. It's about embracing the power of community and recognizing the inherent value of every individual, no matter their background or status. It really is it's a wonderful archetype. The call encourages people to take pride in their everyday roles and find strength in shared experiences, advocating for equality and fairness, like you said, Emily. It's a reminder that we all deserve a good, simple life, and we're stronger when we stand together.
Okay, so there are 3 ways that an Everyman brand can tell its story, depending on your products and services. Level 1 is called the orphan because it's about if you feel abandoned and alone and you're seeking affiliation or belonging with something or someone. So at this level, the everyman is seeking belonging, connection, and support. These individuals might feel isolated or disconnected, so they look for ways to find community and acceptance. Products and services that fit this level are social marketing platforms like Facebook and Instagram or Reddit. All of these help people connect, find common ground, join communities, and this gives them like a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
Support groups or mental health services. There are platforms that offer therapy or group discussions for people looking to feel supported and understood. Subscription offer curated products, but also give you a sense of being a part of a community.
Excellent. And the second level is kind of the need to be the joiner, learning to connect or to fit in, accept help and friendship. So at this level, the everyman archetype is actively working to build connections and learn from others and accept the support of a community. The focus is usually on personal growth or finding a place within a group. The products and services that are in this area are like community organizations, local volunteer programs, programs that foster local connections and enable people to contribute to their communities. You'd also see it in like fitness classes or gyms because it brings that unity where individuals not only work on their personal health, but also join like a welcoming community focused on wellness. Group hobbies or clubs, like brands offering products or services related to team based activities such as bowling alleys, dancing classes, book clubs would all be places to bond with others over shared interests.
Awesome. And then level 3 is the humanitarian level. So this is believing in the natural dignity of every person, regardless of their abilities or circumstances. So here is where the everyman archetype is striving to support the dignity of all individuals. They focus on inclusivity, making sure that everyone has access to basic needs, opportunities, and fair treatment. So products and services that would be appropriate would be social justice organizations that focus on giving back to communities in need. Fair trade and sustainable products, they emphasize environmental sustainability and ethical treatment of workers. Nonprofit services like the Red Cross, Meals on Wheels, these offer services and support to those in need as well, focus on equality and accessibility.
Yeah, and marketing to the everyman is a little bit interesting. They're not looking for elegance, they're not looking for crazy. They kind of do their own thing and they don't want to put themselves above someone else. So
You have to
you
downplay.
have to downplay it. It's just like we're all
Understated.
the same. We're all
Yeah.
together on this. So the colors you could use are like earthy blues and browns. These colors are historically rooted in authenticity and simplicity because they reflect the natural world, everyday life. You could use earthy blues, which convey trustworthiness, patriotism, the blue collar worker. You could use neutral colors like soft greens or beiges, grays, creating kind of an inviting, grounded feeling.
Mhm.
Nothing too flashy or showy, but
Right.
instead just comforting and approachable. Yeah.
Right.
Accent colors that have natural tones, that also helps. Mustard yellows or muted reds can evoke that sense of cheerfulness without overwhelming the design. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So in the images that you would choose for this archetype story, you want to show life how it really is. Ordinary people doing ordinary, relatable activities, like showing families having dinner together or workers out in a field, people chatting in a park, community events like bake sales or picnics or volunteering. You could show genuine, candid moments that focus on natural expressions. These should reflect true emotions and connections. For example, a mother and child sharing a moment of laughter, a couple enjoying a walk in the park, or friends gathering over a meal. Show inclusive and diverse groups. So, represent all different kinds of people from different backgrounds, ages, walks of life, showcasing diversity in a natural, non idealized way. So the goal is to reflect the every person idea and emphasize belonging and connection within the community.
Exactly. That is a great direction for images that would definitely connect with that customer. Layouts that would work for the everyman are predictable. They are plain. Just say it how it is. The design should feel approachable and easy to navigate, no unnecessary complexities or distractions. Keep it straightforward. That's the key. Clean, grid-based structures, consistent spacing, easy to read fonts. Yeah, don't do anything too crazy. Functional and organized layouts should prioritize usability and clarity with well-defined sections and kind of a logical flow. Aim for familiar, predictable layouts, a sense of comfort and dependability. That's making users feel just at ease and welcomed.
So this is not the place to experiment with your designs.
Yeah.
Just make them normal. Okay. So as far as your text and messaging goes, you want to make the audience feel like they belong and that they're valued. You want to be inclusive and focused on building relationships, saying things like, you matter, or we're all in this together, or welcome to the family. Messages should create a sense of community and support, showing empathy for the audience's needs and experiences. The language should be simple and clear and free of jargon, speaking directly to the audience in an approachable way. You want to avoid grandiose claims or marketing fluff. This archetype is going to want honesty and authenticity. So you will alienate them if you try to make it sound too good to be true. Messaging should feel grounded in real life experiences, emphasizing the practical aspects of life. So you could use reassuring statements like, we're here to help, or made for everyday life, which emphasizes reliability and trustworthiness.
I just felt comforted and connected just when you said that. I'm like, I like companies that do this. Yeah, and the overall voice should be friendly and humble, honest and practical. That everyman archetype is warm, down to earth, and approachable. It should speak as though it's coming from a friend or a neighbor.
Like a good neighbor.
Babe, I'm in there.
Yeah. So to summarize all of this, the everyman's main goal is to feel like they belong and connect with brands that give them that sense of affiliation. This group doesn't care for products or people that seem fake or overly hyped. Your advertising should be straightforward and no nonsense. You'll find your audience in casual social spots like bars, bookstores, cafes, local shops, social media, or community clubs where they chat about everyday topics like sports, politics, and light gossip. So their vibe is relaxed and friendly, practical, grounded, trustworthy, and honest. They take pride in showing off their membership in whatever group that they have joined. So you could use bumper stickers, baseball caps, slogan t-shirts to market to them, which from a marketing standpoint, if you do a good job at this, they're going to be the ones that are going everywhere with your logo on their clothes or your bumper stickers on their cars. So might be pretty handy.
They don't need the flashy
They're just out there
logos
advertising
and
for you.
the prestige of it. They're just like, hey, I'm me.
Yeah.
This is what I wear.
Yeah. Okay. So the Everyman brand that we're going to feature today is
Wendy's.
Wendy's.
Let's show that commercial.
Okay.
Look at that Wendy's breakfast burrito. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, sausage. Gotta hand it to the tortilla. That sucker's holding on for dear life. The boss of breakfast, gotta be Wendy's.
So they're totally eating in the tailgate of a truck.
Yeah, it's like it's the construction workers, right?
Yeah.
Grabbing a breakfast burrito. And I love how the text is just literally like, look at the eggs, look at the potatoes, look at the sausage. Like it's just totally
simple,
direct. Yeah. Look at the tortilla.
A lot of examples. Yeah, Wendy's is not pretending to be anything they're not. No refined restaurant here.
Right.
Just it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, we have like a print ad here, or maybe it's a digital ad, I'm not sure, for Wendy's, and it says real deals, 15 items at $1 and up. And then it just got a picture of all these burgers and chicken nuggets and fries and stuff. And so it's just
What you see is what you get.
yeah, and it's so accessible, right? They're appealing to like everyone can afford $1
Yeah.
no matter who you are. So it's just like we're not afraid to just be producing regular food for regular folk, right?
And here are some other companies that do a great job at the Everyman story. And let's see, eBay, Kit Kat, Budweiser, because you're usually hanging out with the guys in those locations when you're doing
Mhm.
that. What else, Emily? What?
Wrangler,
Mm-hmm.
Visa, Southwest, IKEA, Trader Joe's, Dunkin' Donuts,
Target. Target's a good
Target.
one. And Coors.
Okay, so the Everyman brand might be a good option if your product or service helps people belong or feel that they belong. If your product is something that's used commonly in everyday life, if your pricing is moderate to low, so pricing would need to be accessible for lots of people. If it's produced or sold by a company with kind of a down home organizational culture, or if you want to differentiate yourself in a positive way from a higher priced or more elitist brand. Okay, so the key takeaways today for this episode are, we'll just go over the archetypes we've covered. So the first one we went over was the lover.
Mm-hmm.
And this archetype is all about connection, passion, and beauty. Brands that embody the lover archetype attract customers who seek deep, meaningful relationships and sensory experience. These individuals value aesthetics, indulgence, and emotional fulfillment. They often gravitate toward products that make them feel special and desired. Uh, think beauty, romance, and luxury.
The next is the Jester. Fun, playful, and spontaneous. The Jester archetype attracts customers who enjoy life's lighter side. These individuals are carefree, energetic, and love to break the rules. Jester brands appeal to those seeking entertainment, humor, and break free from seriousness, often through products that are fun, indulgent, and a little bit naughty.
Okay, and finally, the Everyman is grounded, practical, and focused on belonging. The Everyman archetype connects with customers who value simplicity, authenticity, and community. These individuals seek connection with others and appreciate products that reflect real life. They tend to be humble, hardworking, and value reliability, often gravitating toward down to earth brands that offer genuine, no nonsense solutions.
All right, let us know what you think about the lover, jester, and everyman archetypes. Do you have any questions? Let us know how we can help. And if you're finding this content helpful, please subscribe, leave us a review, or rate the podcast. This helps us reach more people trying to build their brands. So check out the link in the show notes to view the entire archetype wheel, and join us next week as we explore the caregiver, the ruler, creator archetypal stories. Remember, keep dreaming big, and until next time, I'm Brian Halley.
And I'm Emily Halley. Take care.